I am your host, FatDag, and you're listening to Wise Advice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at fatdag.com and follow along on Twitter at Wise Advice. Send in your comments, your questions, and your celebrations, and I'll include them as part of the show. Remember, before we dive in, when you're out of points, stop eating points. I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, hello there. Welcome to episode 40 of Wise Advice, and I want to talk a little bit about Operation FatDag. I put it on Connect a little bit. I put it on Facebook at Wise Advice, and the response that I'm getting is, again, overwhelming. You guys continue to support me and continue to support the community. Those of us who are trying to get healthy and trying to wrap our minds around this whole process, you continue to engage in that and you continue to support it. And so a quick summary is I got a talk on May 23rd. I'm coming and I have an opportunity, which is an opportunity of a lifetime for me, and it's to address 30 members of the military who are at a point in their military career where they're struggling with their fitness, and they're probably on their last chance to do so. So I have a chance to talk to them, and it's at a point in the journey where I was. I've told you this before, and I was in a dire straits, and if I didn't get my act together, I would probably be separated from the military, and that's where these folks are. And generally speaking, the military doesn't know how to handle this, and so they brought me in as one last chance to kind of talk to them and motivate them, and I wanted to include you. Because you guys believed in me, and that taught me how to believe in myself. Having a complete stranger and a community of Connect, come back to me and support me and show me that I could do this, it really motivated me. So I want to take that energy that you gave to me, and I want to redirect it back to them. And so I just asked you real simply, send me a card, send me a letter of motivation and encouragement, and I will hand deliver that when I get done my talk. As part of my talk, I will let them know that there is a community of people out there who believe in them, and I will hand them a card or two to let them know. And so I've asked for that before, and I want to share one with you. And so I've got, it's been roughly 60 or 70 cards in 2 days that I've gone to the mailbox to get them, and the folks there laugh at me when I come to pick them up, and they're like, "What is going on?" And I have a great opportunity to tell them how awesome you are. So I'm saving the cards as the talk gets closer. I'll open them up and start reading them and draw on that inspiration to shape my talk. But one in particular today I noticed happened to be opened when it came in. And it's really interesting how this is the one that happened to be opened, because this is exactly what I was hoping to find. And so the one that I opened, I want to read to you real quick, because this, again, is exactly what I was hoping. And it's from Karen. Karen writes in, she says, it's a beautiful handwritten note. It says, "Hello. First, I would like to thank you for your service. Our country is so blessed to have brave men and women like you. I am very honored to write to you today to encourage you to put all of the resources you have in service to you and your health and your well-being. You deserve to have the best possible life. Here's my advice. Make a list of the whys that make you want to reach your goal and keep them handy. Take advantage of every resource and source of support offered. Be patient, be kind to yourself. Progress, not perfection. You can do it. You are worth the effort. Best wishes, Karen." Man, if you were in the middle of your journey or just starting out your journey and you thought that this wasn't possible and you got a handwritten note like that, man, that's got to get you propelled in the right direction. And I know that that's what's going to do this here. And I know when I hand that to somebody and say, Karen believes in you. I believe in you. And not only do I believe in you and Karen believes in you, we have an entire community of people who believe in you. Join us. Let's get you to a healthy place. Let's get you to a place where you start feeling better about yourself, and then you start believing in yourself, and you're going to go ahead and get it done. So Karen, that's exactly what I was hoping for. Thank you for that. And there's probably 60 or 70 other letters in my inbox right now, not inbox, in my kitchen right now, stacked up. that I'm sure say the same thing. And as I dive into them, maybe I'll share them with you on occasion. But this one here in particular just happened to already be open as I opened it, as I saw the letters, and man, it was really, really powerful. So I wanted to share that with you. So thank you again to Karen. So Jennifer out of Georgetown, Texas writes in, and it says, "Hello, thank you for being my wingman, especially on Connect and with your podcast. I just got back from a 4-mile walk powered by Wise Advice podcast. I've been overweight most of my life. It wasn't until I found Weight Watchers 13 years ago that I lost 75 pounds, 2 pounds away from my goal. Then I moved overseas for work to Slovakia. There were no Weight Watchers meetings there, and the food was very different. Over the years, I gained about 40 of those pounds back. About 1.5 years ago, I rejoined Weight Watchers and lost 20 pounds in about a year. Then I hit a long stretch of losing a few, gaining a few. I started thinking that I couldn't do it. I found you on Connect, and my first thought, honestly, was, well, he's a guy. It's easier for him. But over time, I saw you so committed, so focused, no matter what, focused on your goal. Your journey has really helped me to get back on track, and I've been listening and catching up on all of your podcast posts over the last couple of weeks. I travel a lot for work and do a lot of events, but I will no longer use them as an excuse to fall off track." That's a bravo moment. I have tracked for 3 weeks straight, 18.4 pounds lost, but hoping that'll be even more after my weigh-in tomorrow. I want to make goal for the first time and forever. My dream is to be a Weight Watcher leader. Thanks for making a difference for all of us in the Weight Watcher community and for your country, for our country. Most sincerely, Jen. Jen, hey, thank you. First of all, thank you for taking me for a walk. It's really interesting. I get a couple emails like this that say, they listen to the podcast as they're out walking and doing the 5 a.m. club and getting some work in. So very much appreciate that. You continue to tune in. I'll continue to share the stories in, and we kind of work this plan together. But many of us can relate to that overweight for most of our life feeling, and at various stages. And for me, it was shortly after high school, and so most of my adult life that I was overweight. So being able to relate there. But what I tell you is, gaining weight, losing weight, getting healthy, all that stuff, it does not know a gender. And as you alluded to in your email, there is that stereotype sometimes that, oh, you're a guy, you can lose weight quicker. And, and I can be honest with you, I've seen a lot of people who lose the weight at the same rate that guys do. And their gender is not male. So it's not a gender issue. There is a body composition gender or body composition makeup that probably has an impact. I've never studied that to be exact, but I've seen people of both genders have very, very good success. So you're absolutely right. It's not a gender issue. It's a focus issue. It's a discipline issue and just a determination issue. And if you follow the plan as designed, the plan simply works. So 18.4 pounds for you, that's incredible. 18.4 pounds is a result of hard work. It's a result of discipline, and you're clearly able to follow the program. You clearly know how to follow the program. The thing I love most about your email was how you recognized that events in the past used to be an excuse for you to get off track. Now, sure, if an event comes up in your life, there are, some challenges that you weren't maybe prepared for. But if these events happen weekly or in a routine manner, then they're part of your life. And so you have to, exactly as you said, and you recognized your email, you have to make sure that event just becomes part of your life and you find a way to stick with it. So I'm glad to see you recognize that. That'll go a long way into your goal. I know that you're going to continue to do well. And you go out there and be a leader. And, being a leader for me is incredibly awesome. And I really enjoy my meeting rooms and meeting the people and talking to the people and seeing their success. So you're gonna enjoy that as well. So great job, Jennifer. Thanks for the email. And let me know when you reach your goal. Let me know when you become a leader. I know you can do it. Go get after it. Thanks again. Next up, Angie. Angie writes in, and she says, "Hi, FatDag. I love listening to your show. It reminds me of Dave Ramsey, who I used to be addicted to. Now I'm addicted to your show. Thank you so much for doing the show for all of us. About 10 years ago, when I was about 43 years old, my husband and I were feeling a bit fluffy, and around that same time, our work had a health and wellness committee offer us a Body for Life contest. My husband and I took the challenge. It was a 12-week transformation contest. There was even a Body for Life cookbook, which really looks like sensible eating, much like Weight Watchers, with an emphasis on protein, which I agree with. My husband and I began watching what went into our mouths and lifting 3 days a week, and the days we weren't lifting, we did high-intensity cardio. We took a rest day and a free meal and then started the whole week over again. At the end of the 12 weeks, I replaced fat for muscle and actually lost 23 pounds, not only retaining muscle, but putting some on. As you may know, muscle is heavier than fat, but takes less room and burns calories while we sleep. By the way, my husband and I both won the contest and both received $500. I did not go on to nationals because I made the mistake of stopping short and not continuing this lifestyle. I also shortchanged ourselves into living healthy, fit lives. Now here we are 10 years later, heavier and more out of shape than we were, and now older. Recently I managed to lose 30 pounds, 10 on my own, and about 20 pounds, 10% of my body weight with Weight Watchers. My husband and I decided to do what we did with Body for Life again. We are adding in strength training again. We were successful before, we can do it again. This time we know the most important piece of the puzzle: learn maintenance, learn to strength train so that it becomes a part of our life, and really do it for life this time. So for fun, we joined another challenge. Our first month we will do not do any cardio because it actually hampens building muscle. The second month we will add high intensity cardio because it doesn't tap into the muscles as much to lose weight, just the fat. This way we'll have some muscle to work with and sculpt our new efficient calorie-burning bodies. Strength training also helps tighten the skin so there is less saggy skin. Muscle continues to burn, whereas cardio only burns while you're doing the exercise. However, sprinting is similar to weightlifting but harder to perform. I'm not an expert, but below are the sources from experts on the subject. Just know that it works. Help me concentrate on losing the fat and building muscle. And I like the way I look and it feels. As I get older, I need to add muscle, not lose it. Keep in mind the first month losing weight is slow due to replacing fat with muscle, so you can't be looking at the scale, but you will drop a dress size or two. So that's from Angie. And Angie, here's what I want to say. I loved your email. And so what I love about it is the energy that you put into writing it. And you've outlined an entire program that worked for you for a little bit of time, and then now you're heading back to what worked. The comparison to Dave Ramsey, love that. Thank you so much. And Dave, if you're listening, I apologize. You're doing a great job. Keep doing what you're doing. But we're going to continue doing this for this side of the equation. Now onto the muscle versus fat thing. So a pound of muscle weighs the exact same as a pound of fat. 10 pounds of muscle weighs the exact same as 10 pounds of fat. So pound per pound, they weigh the same. Now, as you know and as you alluded to, a pound of muscle takes up less space than a pound of fat. So they both are a pound, but about a pound of muscle is about a quarter of the size as the same size mass of fat in pounds. So just to clear that up. But you're absolutely right, though. Adding strength training, adding muscle to our bodies is certainly something we got to do. And so what I recognize in your email is you're clearly focused on the how. You have a system in place, you have a system that works for you, and then you continue to work that system. As long as that system is in place and as long as that system's working, you're able to continue on. The piece that I would ask you to focus on, I would ask you to kind of shift in is one step before the how, and go for the why. You've alluded to it in your email. You have a why. But if your why is solved with a how that you can't sustain, then somehow we forget the why and the how no longer carries us through. When the how becomes boring, we give up. So you had this great program going. You had a tremendous success on this program, but somehow in that process, the how to do this, it was no longer a challenge. It was no longer fun. The complacency set in. Without the why, you fell off the program. So now as you reintroduce it back in, I want you to focus on why you're starting over. And I want you to look at this program honestly. I want you to go, can I sustain this? What were the pitfalls that made me fall off the plan? What were the pitfalls that made me stop? How do I recognize them? How do I push past them if they come up again? And is this the program I want to do for life? Whatever you do to lose the weight, you have to be able to do for the rest of your life to sustain the weight. You have to make it a lifestyle. So if going to the gym becomes a labor, a chore, and you don't truly enjoy it, but you know it's providing the results you're looking for, when you finally get the results, you'll give up on that chore. So find something, incorporate something that you actually truly love and you truly enjoy doing. The results may be slower, but they'll be more permanent. So that's where I would caution you there. But again, I loved your email. I really, truly appreciate you writing in. Go after these goals. You can get it done. Every program out there works. I don't care if it's Weight Watchers, if it's Body for Life, if it's Jenny Craig, if it's Nutrisystem, if it's the pizza diet we talked about before. They all work if you can stay with it. And that's the key. So good luck to you, Angie. Good focus to you. You can do this. I know you can. So keep it up. Mary out of Clifton Park, New York, writes in and she says, I have lost 85 pounds so far and I'm 20 pounds away from goal. Mary, go get it. 20 pounds. You've lost 85. Think about that for a second. 85 pounds. When's the last time you lost 85 pounds on accident? If you've lost 85 pounds, the last 20 is just a matter of time. So Mary, congrats on 85 down. That's incredible. You must feel incredible. You must look incredible. Celebrate your new life. Celebrate your new lifestyle. Drop those last 20 pounds. Get to goal. Maintain it. Enjoy your lifetime. And help us spread the word. There are people out there that need to know that losing 85 pounds is possible. Losing an additional 20 pounds on top of that is absolutely possible. And that's what we're here to do. So thank you, Mary, absolutely, for writing in and sharing that story. Lynn writes in. Lynn says, I found your podcast very helpful. I'm a lifetime Weight Watcher who has returned for the umpteenth time. I gained 40 pounds back. I returned to old eating habits when life happened. This time it feels different because of Connect and members like you who know the struggle with weight and food. I listen to your podcast on my lunch break, and if I'm struggling with food choices, that podcast makes the difference. I am catching up on previous topics, and I found the topic on physical versus emotional hunger very helpful. I am on Connect, and my username is Brian Lynn. I have lost 10% of my body weight, but this week has been tougher than some others. Thanks again for your time and your service, Lynn out of Richmond, Virginia. So, Lynn, thanks for listening. Absolutely, 10% is phenomenal. We've talked about it in many episodes now that if you can hit 10%, you can hit goal. There is some magic thing about the fact that knowing you can do this. This journey is so mental and it's so much in our head that if you hit 10%, you've encountered many of the scenarios that you will ever encounter in your life, and you were able to push through and get down 10%. So this week, you say this week is tougher than others, and so refocus on week one. Pretend it's week one in Weight Watchers. That's probably your best week on plan, and generally speaking, for a lot of us, it is. Reinstitute week one. Start over. Go, if you have to reset the numbers and say, I'm starting today, and just keep pushing on with it. But many of us, and it's a fear that all of us have, is as a lifetime member, gaining the weight back. It took me 5 times in Weight Watchers to continue to be at a point now where I've maintained for 8 months. I still have this thought that maybe I'll gain it back, but I know that I have safety measures put in place. And I know I have a whole new lifestyle. Everything I do is significantly different than what I used to do. And it's part of my life. I don't feel like I have to make these healthy choices. I think these healthy choices now are just happening naturally. So Connect and the support is absolutely powerful, but the strength has to come from you. The strength has to come from your discipline. The strength has to come from your why. Why did you join? The first day you walked into a Weight Watchers meeting, what were you thinking? That's where you got to get. And if you get there, then that mental toughness kicks in. And then suddenly when you're in the break room and before you make every deal, would I rather have an extra bag of chips or would I rather make goal? Would I rather have a can of soda, or would I rather make goal? Would I rather have, a donut, or would I rather wear a different size pair of clothes? So all those choices, every time you have the opportunity to eat, evaluate it against your goals and make the choice. Now, if you choose it, then choose it and track it and move on. Fit it into your plan. But if you're making back to the physical versus emotional hunger, if you're choosing it because it was there and you didn't walk in for it, then reassess and assess it against your goals and see if it fits in. If it doesn't fit in, let's go after your goal, because that's what ultimately is important. When you step on that scale for the very last time in that weight loss mode, there's nothing like it. So I want you to get there. I know you can get there. So absolutely, Lynn, thank you for writing in, and we're going to get there. Let me know when you do. Hey, what are you celebrating? Okay, let's share it on the air. Go to fatdag.com, click on podcast, send in your celebrations, send in your comments. If you're looking to send in something for Operation FatDag, there'll be the address will be in the show notes here. Click on show notes. Got an app coming out real soon. I got some email traffic back on that's on track. Go to fatdag.com, click on sign up for the email newsletter. You'll be one of the first to know that's coming out. If you get a chance, go out to iTunes, send me a review there. Find me on Facebook, find me on Twitter at Wise Advice, Instagram at Wise Advice. Let's connect. Every one of those posts are read and responded by me. When it gets into Weight Watcher Connect, I read every single post you guys send out to me. I try very hard to reply to some of them, but I can tell you at least I'm reading them, and I understand what we're going through. I understand the journey. I've walked the journey, and I'm walking the journey with you. I'm glad to do it. So that's going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight, getting healthy, has nothing to do with luck. You've got to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goals and go after it. I wish you good focus.